Hi, I'm BryCox, BryCoxWORKSHOPS.com. Today I have with me Trajan King from InvincibleStartup.com.
Hi, America.
And we both just finished a particular workout.
You can probably tell.
Yeah, I don't know if you can tell.
I don't know if you can zoom out to see our muscles.
Our huge muscles. But I thought it'd be a good time to talk about 6 points that I think that maybe this applies to our businesses. So I guess first of all, keep in mind, we have got websites with courses. For me, I've got a lot of courses on lighting, sales, workflow, also some free videos. If you're curious about how the content is, sign up on my website. It's all at my website, BryCox, BryCox.com or BryCoxWORKSHOPS.com. Yeah. And then Trajan, of course, InvincibleStartup.com. A lot of courses for business.
For growing your business.
For growing your business. Yep. Okay, so some months ago, I was in a hotel. And here's the thing. I have a regular thing where I regularly exercise. But I saw this infomercial.
Is that how you got started?
Yeah. And
how embarrassing.
And I was like, oh, that looks like a good... Because what I've always done is like I've got like this Bowflex and it came with a video. And so I'd either work out in my gym or I would run or something every day. Mm-hmm. And then at some point I decided, well, I'm just going to run every day. And then maybe I'll work out in my gym a couple times a week or something. But it's kind of just doing my own thing. So I saw this late night video for this DVD called Body Beast. Yeah. Might as well give him the plug.
Yeah, right? You were tired of using your Thigh Master. You'd
yeah,
worn
my
it
Thigh
out.
Master.
And so you started using the Body Beast
videos. So I got those videos.
It's a Beachbody, like P90X.
Yeah,
same company.
Same company, but it's all weights. Mm-hmm. And it's all heavy weights. So then shared it with him, and we both started doing it.
It's a 3-month program.
Yeah.
It takes you through starting very simple, and then it gets more complicated, more heavy weights.
Yeah.
Taught by this huge bodybuilder. His name is the Beast.
Yeah.
That's his real name.
Yeah. And refers to himself in the third person.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I realized I wasn't as in shape as I thought because it was more well-rounded as opposed to me just focusing on certain areas. It was far more just well-rounded. And so I started realizing I was a lot more sore even in that first month than I even expected.
Mm-hmm. Right, because you're used to just working out your biceps. Like most people most guys just work out their biceps and their pecs, and they don't do any legs, and they have little tiny stick legs.
And I was doing some certain lunges just for my knees, but this was like more just all around, shoulders, back, arms, legs, everything. So here's some of the things. So first of all, I guess one of the first things that I picked up from this is one, it was kind of that idea, difference between discipline versus motivation, because people are like, how do you have the motivation to do it every day? Or how do you have the motivation to do this? Or how do you have the motivation? So in terms of business, I made another video on motivation versus discipline, where motivation really is the feeling that comes after discipline, which is the action. And
okay.
Yeah.
And I think for business, it's the discipline of having a schedule and having, and we'll talk about this later in the video, but if you have it all laid out, if you've got a plan and a program and the discipline to follow it, you don't need motivation as much.
Yeah.
So I think of it when I wake up in the morning, and this is true for a lot of business owners, especially if you work at home. You wake up in the morning, how do you get up the motivation to go to work? It's sometimes daunting. You've got all this work to do, and you've got to categorize it and figure out where to start, and that can be really demotivational. But if you've got the discipline and the program already set, then you don't need motivation as much because you're just following what you need to do, which is why workout programs are so great, because they tell you what to do, and you have a success. You can have a success every day, which really helps your motivation.
Yeah, and it's just a little bit. And the idea too is it's teaching you also, I think, the idea that you're not looking for big. We read on the internet all these success stories. So-and-so is an overnight millionaire. So-and-so is an overnight success, blah, blah, blah. But really, those are anomalies. I don't even know if they're always that true, really. Anyway, there's a lot of behind the scenes that you don't see. And really, it's just lots of little things every single day. A little bit of marketing, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of
discipline.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then the next thing would be like a record keeping. one of the best things you can do for anything, and especially like for like these kind of programs, is to keep track of where you are. You look back and you go, look how far I've come. But then also then you've got goals and you can see it and you got a record. Mm-hmm. And one of the kind of handy things, even just from any kind of workout, is like, right, like you're watching your phone. Well, a lot of times just do that automatically, which is really kind of neat, at least in terms of just general working out. But on this particular schedule, you're marking weights and reps, and
which is great for motivation, because there's nothing more motivational than having success, even if it's just small. So think about if you go to a conference or watch a video that pumps you all up, that can actually be more frustrating, because people get pumped up at the event or watching the video or hearing a speaker. They get pumped up, and then the next day they go right back down, or maybe even lower, because they don't have a plan.
Yeah,
they're not keeping track of the records. They don't have something that shows them exactly what they need to do. So it's hard to stay motivated. So having a success by following a plan every day can really keep you motivated more than anything else.
Yeah, like how did I do on sales this month to last month? How did I do on last month? You know, and it's like sometimes it's just great to meet that. As long as I match that from, or maybe I need to go up a little bit or whatever. You're just having a records. The better you keep records, the better you're gonna do with whatever you're keeping records of.
Yeah,
that's a quote. I'm going to write that. That exact phrase, exactly. Good, like that, like awkwardly.
That. I was actually just going to say a real quote. Not that
go ahead.
Wasn't real, but the management consultant Peter Drucker, who's very famous for all the work he's done, he says what gets measured gets managed, and
that's
I like
what
that
I wanted
because
to
that's you just said it in a different way.
Yeah.
So the things that you keep track of will tell you what needs to get managed, where you need to focus your efforts on. And naturally, what you're tracking is going to get managed. It's going to improve the more effort you put into it.
And then the next thing I thought was really kind of interesting, I think, is weightlifting is equally hard for everybody, because the stronger you get, the higher your weights go. So it's still hard to do 15 reps, 12, 8, 12, 15.
Yeah, if it's always easy, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, but the idea is a lot of times you look at people and go, yeah, but it's easy for them. It's hard for me.
Yeah, because he's so buff, like talking about us. Like these guys are so buff. It's got to be really it's got to be really easy for them to do it. But it's not. The difficulty should keep going up as you're building the capabilities. I actually have another quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson, old-timey guy, but it still applies. It says, "That which we persist in doing becomes easier for us to do. Not that the nature of the thing has changed, but our power to do it has increased."
Yeah. And I think in terms of weightlifting, it's the discipline gets easier daily, but the weights are still hard. They're exactly the same hardness every single day.
Right. And your capability gets larger and larger, so you grow, and you might not even realize it if you're not keeping records, right? A little tie back there.
Yeah.
If you don't keep records, you don't know how much you're growing. And by having records, having a system, and increasing the difficulty and adding more capability or adding more weight, then you're going to grow as a person, and subsequently your business is going to grow. Sometimes
when I'm teaching a workshop, people will say, yeah, but that's easy for you because you're BryCox. Like I might be teaching something, and I'll go, no, it's equally hard for me. I'm on a different level going after bigger sales, bigger things, but it's equally as hard. Like my business is not necessarily easier, but the idea is, one, it's equally hard, but discipline becomes easier and easier the better you do things.
True that.
The next thing is having systems compared to doing your own thing. Like I talked before about, I would just try to make sure I was always running or biking or something or lifting it. But I was just making sure I tried to do at least very minimum 30 minutes, if not more, every day. But it's just kind of my own system, as opposed to having this specific system which showed my weaknesses.
Yeah, and there's some downsides to that. Number one, your system, you're kind of making up on the fly.
Yep.
And everybody does this. I'm not pointing to you, but if you're working out, if you're meddling around in your business, you're experimenting. If you follow a system that's already proven, that saves time, energy, money, a lot of effort that is also demotivational. So by following a system, you cut all that, you save all of that, and skip right to the point where you want to be.
It's like a big, huge shortcut.
Yeah.
So I'm actually have an article that I'm almost done with to go in a magazine, but it's on systems. Like, do you have a system for lighting? Do you have a system for running your camera? Like checking all of the settings when you pull it out of the bag. Do you have systems for your workflow? Do you have systems for retouching? Do you have systems for sending things off to your lab? Do you have systems for working with your client? Emails, right? Systems for your marketing? Or is all of it just kind of doing your own thing?
Yeah, I think of it in terms of a franchise. The reason why franchises work, the ones that do work really well, is because they have systems for everything. Go into McDonald's and notice, you can look at the counter and see that the fry machine has steps on it. And every like the things that people do at McDonald's, it's all systematized. There's no room for error. There's no room for just doing things how you want to do it. It's all systematized because they've taken something that works and they've duplicated it thousands and thousands of times.
Yeah, and you're trained. If I have to step away from whatever I'm doing over here and someone else steps into my place, they don't have to figure out where I've been. They just know exactly what I've been doing because everybody knows the system. Mm-hmm. And then the next thing is in terms of mood, exercise in terms of mood. Like for one, I get some of my best ideas when I'm on a bike ride or a run just because I'm away from everything. I'm in the fresh air. It could be raining. It could be sunny. Whatever it is, I'm just out and I'm moving. And after, I don't know, a certain amount of time, I forget the fact that I'm working and I actually get into more of a deep thought. And it doesn't matter how big a problem is in life. When I come back from a run or a bike ride, I feel pretty dang good.
Your endorphins are going. Your stress level goes down.
Yep.
You're unplugged from the world.
And I go, I can handle this problem. I got new ways of handling it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, there's not necessarily an analogy in business except for that will help business.
Right, yeah.
And then one of the last ones is that we only have one life to live. And a lot of times we kind of play it safe. And in terms of exercise, I think one of the nice things, one of the big lessons here is that you only have one body. We only have a certain amount of time on earth. And it's nice to just say, hey, look, I'm going to try to be as healthy as I can or be the best person that I can physically, but also maybe spiritually, kindness to other people, all that kind of stuff. And in terms of your business, are you just kind of playing it safe? Or are you going, hey, look, this is my chance on earth to make something amazing, something that I'm excited about, proud about, changing the world, doing whatever. Are you kind of taking those risks, those steps, not necessarily putting yourself in risk, but being a little bit more outgoing?
Right. We have a vision of what we want our life to be like, especially when we're little, like what you want to be when you grow up, who you want to be, what kind of person you want to be. But we also have a vision of what our business should be. What do we want our business to be like? And if we think of it, idealize that and work toward it, then we've got something that's going to motivate us. We've got a plan that's going to keep us going there. We can keep the records to make sure that we get to that plan, having a vision, having goals, having strategy and tactics about how we're going to get there. Then that really takes advantage of or optimizes our life and the life of our business and trying to make those be the best that they can be. So we have a company that we're proud of.
Yeah. That says everything I want to say. Life's short. Might as well do what we want. And then the nice thing is that you kind of go back to that steps. We're not looking for great big changes overnight. A lot of times I get emails from people, like, I'm having a hard month. How do I just make a lot of money right now? Or I lost my job. How do I make a lot of money right now? It's like, it's all about little things. It's about little things, little steps constantly.
Yeah, I like to think of it in terms of baseball, even though I don't really care for baseball. But the analogy, it holds. If you're trying to hit a home run, and this works for any business, especially for startups, because what we read in the press is all about the home runs. If you're trying for the home runs, most of the time you're going to strike out. Even the famous baseball players like Babe Ruth struck out most of the time. They had horrible batting averages. Every once in a while, they'd have a home run.
And that's what's exciting.
That's exciting, but it's also risky.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always work out. You don't hear about the people that failed trying to hit the home runs. But if you try for the singles or the double, the chances you're going to hit a single are a lot higher. And if you consistently hit singles, then you're going to be much further along because you're not failing along the way. You're consistently progressing step after step, and it's a lot less risky, and you can get to the same place with a lot less risk.
Awesome. Anything you want to add?
I think we covered it.
Nice. All right, you guys. Click the link below to buy those exercise videos that we just endorsed. No, but seriously, just think about stepping things up, whatever it is, live below your means, save a little bit every month, market a little bit every month, market a little bit every day, exercise a little bit every day. Just try to shoot a little bit more better shoots, be nicer to clients, all that kind of stuff. A little bit every single day. And check out my training online. I've got a lot of more substantial stuff than I can fit in these little short Q&A videos, which are more kind of just hitting the cusp.
The ideas, yeah.
Yeah. BryCox Workshops, BryCoxWORKSHOPS.com. And of course, check out Trajan at invinciblestartup.com.
A little progress every day.
Yeah. All right. Until next time, America.
Bye.